Hello lovely jewelers! In this video I'm going to be talking to you about the 4 lessons that I learned while running a jewelry career for the past 9 years. If you're new here, my name is Megan and I have a program called Consistent Sales Academy where I help jewelers who are feeling overwhelmed and underpaid turn that around and turn their side hustles into full-time successes. As it's my birthday, I thought I would give one lucky subscriber a free spot to join my program. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video where I'll explain how to do that. If you are one of my regular subscribers, you may have keen eyes and have noticed that I'm not in fact in Brussels in my studio where I usually am, but I am joining you today from this absolutely freaking beautiful place in Germany. So I'm here at the moment for a couple of days to have a few meetings with some shops because I'm currently expanding into the German market. How exciting! Let's start with lesson number 1, which is perfectionism. So when I started out on my jewelry journey, I genuinely held myself back so much with this simple thing, perfectionism, which I've come to realize doesn't actually exist because what's perfect to me is not perfect to somebody else, and likewise vice versa. And basically it just stopped me doing so much for so long because I thought that my whole body of work had to be absolutely perfect and the best thing ever before I put it out there. I thought that my website had to be absolutely perfect before I pressed live. There were so many things that I was waiting for the right time to feel like it was gonna be perfect. But in the end, what I realized is that you just need to start. It can be messy, you don't need to know everything. You will never know 100% of the information you need to start something. So if you have even between 50 and 70%, that is amazing and that's great. So you just need to start because as you're going, then you're going to realize things. But if you don't start and you're waiting to get all the information, you're not going to actually get that information because you're not moving from the position you're in at the moment. So if you think you're feeling stuck and waiting for perfection, it's really not going to happen. But just be confident in each little bit that you're doing at a time, and the rest will become clear as you go. So I really things just sped up so much when I actually realized this and started just taking action, taking messy action. It doesn't have to be perfect. And lesson number 2 is remembering that it's a marathon and not a sprint. So running a jewelry business is obviously not something you're going to do overnight, immediately, right now, super fast, super quick. And what I really had to learn was not to just go full force, crazy like a bull, and just give everything that I had, because if you go at that much speed and with that much energy, you're gonna run out. So what I realized is rather to be consistent and actually get to my goal of running a successful jewelry business, I had to just maintain something that felt more sustainable. So in terms of that, looking at other people on Instagram posting 3 times a day, 7 days a week, I was like, that's just not viable. You can do that for a month or something and then you're going to be completely and utterly exhausted. And it's not just posting on social media, it's doing all the other aspects of your jewelry business as well. So I really had to learn, okay, what does sustainability look like to me and what can I maintain rather than giving it all, then being exhausted, retreating, beating myself up for it not working and not be working fast enough and all of that. So I really just had to reframe that and be like, okay, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I will get there, but to get there, the better way is to just do it slowly and consistently rather than trying to do it fast now, because you will burn out and then lose the motivation. For example, when I was working on my website, I initially sat down and thought I could do it in a few days and just really fully focus on it and give it my all. But then you get really tired and then you start making mistakes and then things aren't really logical anymore. And then when you look at it the next day, you're like, oh my God, why was I working on that at 12 o'clock at night? It looks like a total disaster now. That's not logical. And then you have to redo it. So actually in that way, I ended up creating more work for myself by not just actually, working when I have the energy to do it and just taking a slightly slower approach, because then you end up with a better result in the end. And sometimes, especially with a creative process, you need to let things sit for a little bit so that you can feel into it and come with a different perspective. For example, if you've been working on a new collection, you can't just rush that. You can't make it in a week. You need to take time, you need to sit with it, you need to wear it, you need to think about it, and then, we can understand that in terms of that. But then in terms of other things, we have this sense of urgency, but actually we need to just do it consistently rather than full force straight away now. And number 3 is Hilfe, which is what I like to say when I'm pretending to be German and saying help. And what my lesson is to ask for help. Help! Because sometimes we think that we need to do everything ourselves, and some things can be outsourced, and for not that much money, just to take some of that weight off your shoulders. Because in the beginning, I've mentioned this before if you watch my YouTube videos, but like I literally thought I had to do absolutely everything. So I soon realized that in order to scale my business, I needed to get further help. So at the moment, what I do is I design my collections, and then I have a team of people who make those pieces for me so that I can focus on growing the business, approaching more shops, stocking them, selling directly to customers through my website, and spending time on the things that actually will help grow my business. So my 2 little hands aren't tied up at the bench the whole time, just focusing on the making. Besides spending money on outsourcing different things, I also invested in myself and my personal development. So by that, I took courses in branding, in social media, in marketing, in sales psychology, in mindset, all those things that I knew would improve my business and all of the skills that I had. Because when I went into it, I didn't know everything, and there was a lot that I needed to learn in terms of the things that I needed to do on a daily basis in terms of running and scaling my own business. So I absolutely loved all of the courses that I took. So even though I ended up spending quite a bit of money on all of these different courses to fill all of the different gaps, me and my business benefited from it. So return on investment. So I always think of that. So ROI. So wherever you're spending your money, is it worthwhile for you? Like, what do you get in return? So spending money on courses like that has been so great, and has really helped me to develop my business way further than I would have done if I'd just been trying to do it all myself from the beginning. So basically, the Consistent Sales Academy is everything that I've learned over all of these courses over the years to educate myself with everything that I needed to run a successful jewelry business, and I've compiled it all into this course with literally your A to Z, step by step, with everything that you possibly need to scale your jewelry business. All you need to do to enter and stand a chance to win yourself a position is to send me a 1-minute long video explaining why you deserve the spot. And there'll be more details in the description, so feel free to enter, and the winner will be announced on the 13th of November in that week's video. So I look forward to watching all of your submissions. Lesson number 4 is it's a numbers game. So what I mean by that is that sometimes we think that it's our jewelry. I know I did in the beginning, thinking my jewelry is not good enough, people don't like my jewelry, and all of that stuff. Whereas actually then I had to realize, well, how many people have actually seen it? And then taking action in terms of making sure that enough people see it, because there is a 1 to 3% conversion rate on sales. So that means if 100 people were to see your jewelry, 1 and 3 people are actually probably going to buy it. So in that way, you just need to really focus on getting it seen by enough people, rather than beating yourself up like I did, thinking, oh, my jewelry's not good enough, maybe I should redesign this, maybe I should, make it cheaper, and all of that stuff, which actually is not necessarily the case. Then another element in terms of numbers is pricing, a big one that really did my head in the beginning, and I had no idea how to do it, and that caused so much stress and anxiety for me around that. And so numbers in that sense as well also is something to make sure that you have organized and worked out correctly based on facts and figures. I will link a video all about Notion up there on one of the sides that helps you work out all of your prices, and you get a downloadable template so you can do that all by yourself, and super easy, taking all the stress out of that. So check that out if you're interested. So that is it for this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to watching your submissions and look forward to seeing you in next week's video. Be sure to subscribe to make sure that you don't miss any other videos if you have enjoyed this content. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Should we try?
It's recording?
Okay. Let's not do that. In it, bruv. Because I would like to expand my brand into Brussels. Not Brussels. Into the German market. As I'm busy expanding my brand into the German moment. German moment? What? What the fuck is that? It's not even a thing. It's just a random word. As you can see, I got the giggles. Sure.